This is a rematch, of course, from last year's playoff situation. Kyle Brandt, what you looking for?
I thought Peter had that great report about how Matt Nagy showed his team, the Washington Nationals, how they had a terrible start and still won the World Series. My question would be, do the Chicago Bears have Strasburg? Do they have Scherzer? It's a hell of a rotation that they had there at the Nationals. The number one start of Chicago Bears is Mitch Trubisky, and this is yet again a play now or forever hold your peace on the road in Philly. Number 10, it all comes down to you.
I don't know if Juan Soto or Anthony Rendon can kick a 41-yard field goal, and that wasn't the point. The point is that the Bears know that this is their moment. Like, this is it, guys, and they're going to have a game against a team.
I thought last week was their moment.
This is the real moment? This is
the
real brink of it, because now everyone's off the ship.
Trick or treat.
Yeah, okay.
Everyone is off the ship, and everyone is on with the Eagles because they beat the Bills. I want to see what this Bears team is made of. Go out there, shock the world, win this game, keep your season alive.
Yeah, to Kyle's point, is Mitchell Trubisky a closer? Like, does he have it in him? And on the flip side, Jordan Howard, I mentioned it earlier in the show, he's facing his former team. He held them down for 3 years, had 3 1,000-yard seasons.
Interesting,
how about that? And they shipped him away. He's going to ball out.
Bears looking for their first win over the Eagles, by the way, since 2011. It was a fourth-quarter comeback led by Jay Cutler and our boy Matt Forte. Moving on, let's go to the Steel City. It's Pittsburgh. The Colts coming to town to take on the Steelers. What are you expecting from this one, Peter?
I'm so interested to see what version of the Steelers we get, because they started off slow against the Dolphins, and then by the end of the game, I'm like, they might be a playoff team. Like, Mason Rudolph is actually really good, and that defense can stop people, and yet the Colts always hang around in games and always find ways. This, to me, is a huge game for the Steelers, because you had the fun win with Duck out in L.A. You have the win against a bad Miami team. Can you beat the Colts at home? If you beat the Colts at home, we're talking about this team has some flickering playoff hopes.
Last year, the Colts had a quarterback in Andrew Luck who threw for 37 touchdowns and would have won the MVP if Pat Mahomes didn't throw for 50 touchdowns. There isn't a Pat Mahomes this season, so the Colts will have another quarterback that will be in the MVP race. Jacoby Brissett should be mentioned in that conversation. I'm curious to see how he plays and if he continues to close the gap between himself, Russell Wilson, and Aaron Rodgers.
Don't let the Steelers get hot. Don't do it. Mike
think?
Tomlin has never had a losing record. It's never happened. Now, he's never done it without Roethlisberger, but what we've seen from that defense, they can beat anybody. If that defense shows up and Rudolph makes a few plays, don't let them get hot. Pittsburgh Steelers teams do not just go away and die.
That said, all of their wins are against sub-500 teams. The Steelers are 0-4 against teams with a winning record. Let's go to Seattle now. Seahawks hosting the Buccaneers. Nate, how do you see this one playing out?
Don't let Russell No, seriously, don't let Russell Wilson get hot.
He always is.
Because Russell Wilson is one of those, I know.
Those Halloween
but he's one of those individuals that go from heating up to he's on fire to literally start smelling that smell of the Super Bowl stadiums he's played in. And I feel like Russell Wilson is getting really close to that. Even the last few years when Russell Wilson played well, it's like, they're a playoff team. They'll be a playoff team, but I'm not sure past that. Russell Wilson is playing so good that it's like, they're a playoff team, but they might win the Super Bowl this year. That's how hot he's getting.
I thought the officiating really hurt the Buccaneers last week. I thought Jameis Winston didn't play his best game. I thought the wide receivers didn't play the best game. And yet I'm done with excuses with the Buccaneers. Like, classic Buccaneers fashion. They're going to go up to Seattle, win by 20 points, and we're all going to say, wow, Jameis is great. What version of the Bucs are we getting? They very rarely lay eggs in these games where everyone else is counting them out.
Peter, you're a big draft guy. Should we talk more about DK Metcalf's three-cone drill? Should we talk about how he doesn't drop his hips in his routes enough? He's awesome. But I do want an explanation from DK Metcalf about this pacifier mouth guard that we are seeing every single week. It's very odd. It's unprecedented even, and yet he doesn't talk about it. The only thing I can find is that he has a friend who makes unique mouth guards. That's what he offered to us. It's great.
It's disruptive.
I just want to deep dive in that because that is unbelievable. I've never seen that ever, and it's kind of cool. I just need to know what it is.
At GMFB, you didn't ever use those back in
Oh, no, my kids weren't pacifier kids. Thank God.
What about you as an adult? Going to the club?
Oh, yeah, when I go to a rave, of course I do, yeah.
All right, we've got all
What about you and the wife?
For week next.
I'm going to bite my tongue, so to speak.
Here we go. We've got a good Monday nighter. Hey, what are you guys doing Monday?
What word?
I watched the Saquon.
Yeah, let's go to this game. It's here in town. The Giants hosting the Cowboys.